First of all, I would like to introduce briefly who I am and when I discovered blockchain technology. My name is Rémy André Ozcan, and I discovered Bitcoin and blockchain technology 7 years ago when quite nobody talks about, with my brother and associate Christophe. Since 7 years have passed and we have seen the evolution of this industry, which will get more insiders and more use cases of this amazing technology. And 5 years ago, we have decided to create one of the oldest blockchain engineering and consulting company in Europe, Crypto4O, to benefit for our clients, to benefit for the leverage of this amazing technology. And I'm also a French expert in international standard organization, which will produce international standards which will apply to every blockchain product and solution until 2022. And I'm also involved as an advisor for regulatory aspect related to blockchain technology with European Parliament. And I'm in front of you as CEO of Tozex, a tokenization platform we started to build almost 2 years ago, and I'm proud of it. And the last but not the least, I co-founded the first blockchain federation in France dedicated to all professionals who want to embrace this technology and to professionalize our industry. And I made it with the French congressman and friends, Jean-Michel Miss. Now you know better me, who I am, and where we're going to go. Let me introduce briefly a brief summary about what we will discuss about during this evening. The first part, we'll talk about the BRO, the smart crowdlending protocol we have designed with Tozex team. And I will introduce after that what is the benefit to use Tozex as a tokenization platform. And at the end, I will be more than happy to discuss with you about questions you will have and to share more insights about the future we want to offer you to embrace, to enter in this new era of financial services. Let's start right now. The Believers Reward offering is concretely a blockchain-based fundraising mechanism which allows a company to finance its development by borrowing digital assets, and in this case, stable coins, from investors all around the world. So we will solicitate every people who want to contribute to the development of our tokenization platform. Basically, it's a crowdlending system created on blockchain using smart contract capabilities to ensure and to make sure that reimbursement of capital and payment interest will be automatized, transparent, and irreversible. There is no place for bad faith in our ecosystem. Thanks to blockchain technology, we are able to tell you that you don't have to trust people or trust the company. You have just to trust the technology itself. This technology will ensure that all the investment terms will be made as we have discussed previously with all the community. The main component of this crowdlending system is the use of a stablecoin to contribute to it. By using a stablecoin, we want to avoid capital erosion for investors who decided to invest traditionally by using an asset which evolve and suffer from the volatility, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other traditional crypto assets. You will be able to borrow those assets and to lend those assets and to receive a quarterly repayment basis on the long term, which could be 12 months to 18 months, with an interest rate between 10% to 15%. And something interesting is that you will receive capital reimbursement at 50% during the first quarter after the closing of the BRO campaign. Because we want to build a strong community, we have decided to reward the loyalty by providing a staking reward mechanism on a Tozex balance to convert traditional investors into real believers on the project. Because if you continue to believe on the project, you let us more time to develop the project and to improve the development and to deliver what we have promised. But the question is also why we have decided to build such kind of innovative mechanism. Since 2015, we have seen initial token offering. They have demonstrated that they are powerful fundraising mechanism for SMEs. Indeed, more than 21 billion was raised during the previous year. Yes, it's powerful. But those traditional mechanisms based on blockchain technology are perfectible because they suffer from some certain issues. And we aim to offer a way to solve those issues by using the BRO systems. We have designed the BRO to improve blockchain-based crowdfunding mechanism in order to align interests of entrepreneurs and investors to putting them in the same direction. And the BRO offers a way to improve the transparency and enforcement of the initial deal. Because all the terms of the loan are coded on a smart contract. And when the smart contract is deployed on a blockchain, nobody can modify it. Nobody can change the condition of investment. It's really important for trust. But BRO also aims to reduce significantly the volatility and the risk of capital loss for both sides, entrepreneurs and investors. The question is how we will make it. We will avoid capital erosion by using stablecoins. Indeed, as an entrepreneur, when you decided to raise funds with traditional initial token offering, you raise funds with assets which will evolve. So it means that you can get 10 millions, which could be 20 millions in 1 month, but it could be also perhaps 5 millions. And as an entrepreneur, the management of the treasury is really, really important. And we want to offer a way to avoid this risk for entrepreneurs, but also for investors. Because when you invest in a specific crowdfunding campaign by using an asset which will evolve itself, it will be really difficult to calculate your own return investment. When the market is green, you invest with an asset which is green and you receive another asset in green. Okay, could make sense. But in normal market conditions, this doesn't work. That's why for both investors and entrepreneurs, raising and using stable coins is a sustainable way to avoid capital erosion. The second aspect is to avoid the pump and dump phenomenon. How we will make it? Because we will distribute those tokens over the time through a quarterly basis distribution. What it means? It means that you will receive from time to time the portion of assets you have to receive. every quarter you will receive a portion of those assets. It helps us by this dilution of distribution to avoid the pump and dump phenomenon, which will increase or decrease significantly the price of the asset itself. And another aspect is that the starting date of each individual loan will not be the same. If you contribute at the starting date of the BRO on June 22nd, you will have a different date from the other contributor which has contributed the 25th June. So it means that every contributor will not receive at the same moment and at the same time those assets. And another aspect of the BRO is to have provided a stabilization mechanism which encourages long-term holding by rewarding the continuous belief and permanent staking of the assets you have received. Your loyalty needs to be rewarded for this. That's why we call them believers instead of investors, because they still believe on the project. And they believe on the project because it's based on concrete fundamentals. Everything will be able to check everyone. But finally, what's different with the BRO from other previous blockchain-based crowdfunding mechanisms? We will compare characteristics of BRO with characteristics of ICOs, STOs, and EOs. All of them belong to the same family of blockchain-based crowdfunding mechanisms. In terms of investor side, the scope of investors are international for all of them, except for STOs. They are regional because of regulation aspects. They need to respect a specific regional regulation. Which kind of investors you could attract by using BRO? The same like ICOs, retail and institutional, which is not the case with STOs and EOs. It's another kind of investor profile. What about the investment horizon? We have seen with ICOs that every investors have made an investment horizon in a short-term aspect, which is not good for the project. For STOs, it's a long-term aspect because you will get securities. And as securities, you will need, after that, to sell them to another people which will be willing to buy your assets. But it currently doesn't exist any specific marketplace for that until Tozex. You will discover it in the second part of presentation. What about equal treatment of investors? There are equal treatment in the BRO system because everything will be transparent. There is no hidden deal. The same interest rate for the same invested amount for the same loan period, which is not the case with ICOs. 90% of previously ICOs didn't publish any smart contract. So it's really hard to understand how much amounts was raised and how many people contributed and which amount of tokens they received. It's really important for us. That's why we'll make equal treatment of all investors. But most interesting part is related to volatility. You could suffer from high level of volatility by using traditional investment systems, which is not the case for the BRO, for the reason I explained a few minutes ago. And BRO is the only one system which offers a way to use stablecoins on a distributed way. So it means that you will not suffer from a centralized aspect and you will get more information at every aspect of the project. And the last point is that staking reward mechanism, it exists in the BROs, which is not the case when you take a look, a comparison with other token-based fundraising mechanisms. How can you contribute? Participation into BRO will be made depending on the invested amount and the duration of the loan. You have to select the scenario between tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. You have specific range on investment depending on those scenarios. You will have to invest with stablecoin in order to receive capital reimbursement and interest payments on a quarterly basis. And if you stake and hold all of those tokens, you will receive another believer staking bonus at 10%. A concrete illustration. Richard decided to contribute to Tozex development by participating to the BRO campaign on June 22nd by lending DAI for $10,000 during 12 months periods with an interest rate of 10%. So in the first quarter, he will receive 50% of its capital reimbursed with the same stablecoin he used to contribute to the campaign. And he also starts reimbursement by using those tokens and to receive the first token generated from the interest. And every quarter, we will take a look about the amount of those you have received. And if you stake them and decided to hold them, you will receive an additional bonus, which is the believer staking bonus, for 10% of the current balance of your wallet. And it will be exactly the same way for every quarter until the end. At the end, you will receive 0.5% of capital reimbursement with your DAI and those tokens as capital reimbursement payments, but also payment for interest and the additional bonus if you decided to stake all the tokens you received. Let's take a look directly on the platform. If it's not already the case, I invite you right now to create an account on Tozex.io and to go to the section investment. You will have all information related to the campaign and to the terms of contribution. You will have a way to simulate your investment and your return. Let's take an example. For example, invest 5,000. You will have the interest rate, which will apply depending on the scenario, tier 1. The loan periods, 12 months, the amount you received as a capital reinvestment at 50%, as I said, the amount of those tokens which include capital repayment and bonus, and the total. So feel free to simulate your investment to get proper details of the terms of contribution. And if you are lost, no problem. We have made a video to explain you the process and how you can contribute. And I invite you to join our Telegram group. Feel free to ask every question if you suffer from any issue. And when you have decided the amount you want to contribute, you will be able to make the investment. Currently, we are in a pre-registration period. What it means? It means that until the official launch of the BRO, which is scheduled June 22nd, you will be able to materialize your investment intention by using this session. you will see it's really easy to contribute. You just have to make sure that your MetaMask wallet is activated. You just have to select your wallet, to copy paste your public address you want to use to contribute. Be aware, because this wallet is really important, because if in this wallet you will receive all the capital reimbursement and the payment of the interest. So we advise you to create a specific wallet for this operation. You just have to express the amount you want to contribute and to confirm. And when you have made this, we have received your intention to invest before the official date of launch. You will be able to make it also after the 22nd June. But before, you benefit from 5% of additional bonus on the amount you have made during this pre-registration period. It's really important to have this in mind, because it helps us to drive you on the best way in our ecosystem. Let's get back to example. As expressed and revealed and showed in the BRO dashboard, the conditions are properly clear, and those conditions will be coded on a smart contract. There is no place for bad faith in our ecosystem. If you just have to keep in mind few characteristics of the BRO, it will be the following. It's a smart crowdlending mechanism based on stablecoins. This is a world first premiere. Nobody's has started raising funds by using stablecoins and combining them with a crowdlending mechanism. We have designed it at Tozex. It's a way to get funded without suffering from the loss of control of your company, because it's an anti-dilutive mechanism, which brings positive network effect, reduce significantly the volatility and the capital loss, because as I said, when you combine the use of stablecoin, a repayment of 50% of the capital at the first quarter, the dilution over the time regarding the distribution of those tokens, you will be able to reduce significantly the volatility risk and the risk of capital loss. And more than that, we want to convert investors into believers. We want to put in the same direction entrepreneurs and investors for the benefit of the project and this investment. Both of them are possible. And to make sure that everybody will be part of the family, we'll provide an equal treatment of all of believers, thanks to the smart contract capabilities. As I said, this innovative token-based mechanism will be available for every customer on the Tozex platform after the closing of the first BRO of history, which will start June 22nd. Save the date, don't miss the target. Now we will start with the second part of the presentation, and the reason why we need you to accelerate our development by borrowing stablecoins. It's to accelerate the development of Tozex, which is a tokenization platform. Our mission, our objective is to unlock the real value of digital asset markets. And you will understand how we will make it and why we are well positioned to reach our objectives. But before understanding the real value of our platform, it's necessary to explain the fundamentals around the tokenization. In fact, what is tokenization? Tokenization is the process of creation of a digital assets called token, that's why we call it tokenization, which confer to the owner the same rights as provided by the underlying physical assets which it represents. So it means by tokenization, you have to understand that we create digital assets which will represent legally, financially, and technically the underlying physical assets. And those kind of physical assets could be real estate property, commodities, or company stocks, and various other traditional assets. And those traditional assets will not be exchanged directly, but the digital assets itself, which will represent those underlying physical assets, will be exchanged on a peer-to-peer way directly between the buyer and the seller without the need of a third party to ensure that the transaction has been made successfully, because this transaction will be made through a blockchain infrastructure. So we will go directly from physical assets, traditional physical assets, to digital assets, which will be exchanged on the blockchain infrastructure. This is what we call tokenization. What are the benefits of tokenization for traditional assets? The first benefit is to offer a way to make real-time direct transaction between the buyer and the seller. And you will be able to make it on a cross-border way every day of the year, because digital asset markets has no closing day. It works on a daily basis. There is no banking holiday. It's always open. Another major benefit of tokenization is the ability to divide the ownership of an asset until 18 decimals. So you fractionate the ownership of the physical asset itself. And the last one, benefit of tokenization is regarding the traceability. The integrity of all transactions will be made without need of any intermediaries to validate the transaction and to update the movement registers of the company. So it allows direct exchange on a cross-border way to fractionate an ownership and to make sure that the deal will settle in a proper way thanks to blockchain technology. And when you transpose those benefits to a concrete use case, you will understand the power of tokenization for SME stocks. With Tozex, SMEs will be able to simplify the investment process and to provide liquid asset insurance process. Creating a digital assets and transfer it to a seller or a buyer, depending on the sign you are, will be easy as sending an email. This is a major advancement we want to provide. And the opening of markets every day of the years encourage more trading volumes and increase the liquidity of the asset itself. You can fractionate the ownership of the SME stocks, which will contribute to decrease the investment threshold. Basically, you'll be able to invest since €1. By decreasing the buyer for entry, we provide an access to retail investors to a specific assets for which they will not able to invest in a traditional way. So it reduces erosion and friction of the investment. And when you combine it with stablecoin, it improves also a way to circulate better this capital. And this efficient capital formation will be improved also by the existence of a secondary marketplace for unlisted stocks. The process associated with the existence of a dedicated marketplace for the secondary market just after the primary market. When you issue and create digital assets, you have to exchange it and to offer a way to investors to sell their position if they want. And we reduce the numbers of intermediaries required for this kind of investment. So it will decrease the cost investment. And as an SMEs, you will be able to see an automation of the update of your stock movement register and a long-term preservation of it in the blockchain. So we provide a reliable track record, a fractionable ownership, and an efficient capital formation for tokenization of SME stocks with Tozex. Traditional finance didn't offer a sustainable answer to them. What can you do with Tozex, in fact? You can do a lot of things. Tokenization of traditional assets, as explained before. You can get funded by using blockchain-based crowdfunding systems, traditional ones, with ICOs and STOs. And hopefully you will use also the BRO, because BRO will be available for all our customers. And you will be able also to keep and protect by yourself all the assets you have as an investors and as entrepreneurs. We will never have the private key related to your wallet. And finally, the compliance KYC and AML checks will be made for only €2 per investors, which is quite nothing, because currently on the market it costs between €3 until €7, depending on the provider. The key characteristics of our platform are the following ones. We offer for the first time a consolidation of the primary market and the secondary market, which means that investors don't have to create various accounts on different exchanges to be able to buy or to sell specific assets they received previously during a blockchain-based crowdfunding campaign. By making an automatized, cost-efficient, and transparent digital asset exchange, we hope we will provide what the blockchain ecosystem and believers are waiting for since the previous years. This ecosystem was designed for them, for both of them, for all the key players of this industry. You will keep full control of your ownership by using the digital asset vault. Invest or get funded with stablecoins. This is another innovation. Only in Tozex platform you'll be able to use stablecoins like this. And we want also to offer the best experience possible for our customers and not to be dependent from one single blockchain infrastructure, and to offer a way to our customer to select the best blockchain infrastructure between Ethereum, Bitcoin Rootstock, Ethereum Classic, and Stellar. We will ask to our community to vote for blockchain infrastructure they want to use on Tozex platform. And finally, you will be able to have a certified track record of all the successive owners of the digital asset itself and to automatize the update of the movement register of the company. This is the key characteristics of our platform. And when we take a look about the tokenization market analysis, because it already exists, it's already a reality, tokenization of assets. And it will be the major and principal use of blockchain technology in the coming months. For example, in last September, Santander Bank issued bonds for 20 millions using tokenized assets on Ethereum blockchain. 20 millions from a traditional actor of finance, which is not nothing. Real estate tokenization also. Amiran Group tokenized a property based in Manhattan for 30 million value on Ethereum blockchain also in October 2018. It was exactly the case also with Mount Pelerin, which is based in Switzerland, which will have made an SMEs stocks tokenization in form of tokens in October 2018. So it is a reality. Tokenization is a reality. And we want to provide you a way to benefit from it without suffering from technical barrier or costly and long process to tokenize your assets or to invest in tokenized assets. When you compare the current statement with other competitors, nobody offers a primary and a secondary market consolidated. It reveals that our industry and this market is still remain fragmented and inefficient markets because of all of those components. When we take a look about token design providers like Polymath, Tokeny or Securitize, they provide a way to issue digital assets but in a manual process. There is no automation. So it's only a website which provides you a way to contact them to create the assets you need. So which is exactly what we are currently doing in Crypto for All, because it's a blockchain engineering company which powered Tozex product. You need smart contract development skills required. You need that. With Tozex, you don't need that. It's a costly issuance product. Thanks to automation, thanks to a smart contract library, and the reduce of need of all of us intermediaries like smart contract developers, we can reduce the cost of the issuance process. And you won't need any specific skills to use it. And if you take a look on the secondary market with major players, it's a long and costly token listing process. During this time, investors and new community will suffer from waiting the creation of a secondary market. And there is a lack of transparency on clearing and settlement on those centralized exchange, which leads to market manipulation. So with Tozex, we have analyzed all of this, and we have decided to provide you a way to improve your experience with tokenized assets. Regarding our roadmap in 2020, we will start the commercialization of the tokenization services and tools in June. So you will be able to verify by yourself by going to tozex.io that you are able to create your own assets, to launch your own token-based fundraising mechanism, and to use the digital asset vault because they are already developed. This is the alpha version. And we need to accelerate our development by using the BRO crowdfunding mechanism to accelerate and complete the development of the platform, and more specifically for the secondary market. by the end of the year. Remember, the BRO starts officially on June 22nd. We have seen this industry since a long time, and we have decided to crystallize all our expertise in this product with my associate, but also my brother, Christophe, which is an experienced engineer and technical advisor on blockchain ecosystem since 2013. And we have decided to offer you a way to benefit from this expertise on our platform. You'll be able to verify by yourself and invite you to take a look about what we have achieved on Tozex.io. And I will finish with that. Tozex is first of all the power of free choice. We provided you a way to choose the way you want to enter in this industry. You want to benefit from tokenization or from tokenized of digital assets. Experience of our community, of our believers community is really important for us. And we expect from you every moment you will be able to share your insights with us to improve the experience and the number of tools at your disposal. Charles Darwin has used to say, it's not the strongest or the most intelligent species which will survive, but someone which will be able to adapt to the evolution and to change. I would like to ask you something. What about you? Thank you for your attention. Future is now in your hands, and we will start with the Q&A session, for which I hope it's time to transfer your questions into conviction. Thank you for your attention. Now let's take a look about your questions. Yes, of course. So Miguel Angel Ventura, could you give an example of pump and dump phenomenon? Yes, of course. When you get funded by using an ICO, you provided to investors huge bonuses, which could be 80%, 70% difference from the price of official listing of the token itself. And investors who thinks in a short investment basis, as I explained previously, they just will wait a listing on an exchange to sell and materialize their investment. So it means that when the token is listed on a crypto exchanges, like Binance, for example, all investors want to sell their position and to materialize their bonus. They will get their bonus. That's good for them. But it's a back signal you send to entrepreneurs. Take a look. If for example, the entrepreneurs raise 20 millions, but at the moment it lists the assets on the exchange, the price of the tokens will evolve from market demands between buyers and sellers. What happens in your opinion when everyone wants to sell their tokens? The price of the token itself go to the ashes. And as an entrepreneur, you are successfully get funded, but you send a wrong signals to your future customers and perhaps future investors because of this way to think. That's why we have designed the bureau to put in the same direction investors and entrepreneurs, and not having a short term investment horizon, but a midterm, which is a major difference between them. That's why we expect a smooth increase of those tokens because of dilution of the distribution over the time, because every individual loans will not start in the same way, and because every quarter you will have a choice between staking your assets you have received, your TOS token, or decided to sell them. And if you decide to keep them, you send us a signal that you still believe on the project. And for that, you need to be rewarded. This loyalty needs to be rewarded because with this time, we will have more time to improve development of the platform and to deliver what we have promised. I hope it's clear for you, Miguel. And if it's not, feel free to ask another question or to complete your initial question. Dawal Shah, you said it's like Defi. Yes, it is. Why? Because we are an infrastructure. Our platform works to offer all the necessary tools for entrepreneurs and investors to use all of those tools and preserving their own interest and keeping their own funds, and more specifically the private key. How it works currently in our current ecosystem. All the centralized exchange has suffered from hacking. And for FIFA, it's really easy for them. It's really attractive. It's a honeypot for them. Because when you steal digital assets, you are able to sell them really quickly, which is not the case with traditional fiat currencies. So yes, it's exactly like a Defi. That's why we provide all the necessary tool for the primary market, but also for secondary market, because the secondary market will be based on a decentralized order book. So it means that it will reflect the real market volume. There is no manipulation of the volume, as major cryptocurrencies exchange has already done. It will be a trap for investors to invest based on a centralized order book. That's why we have decided to decentralize it. Let's pick up another question. Alejandro. So you said the opening date of the BRO fundraising campaign is June 22nd, right? Yes, it is. So you remember well. When is the closing date of the BRO fundraising? In principle, the BRO crowdfunding campaign will take place during 3 months, but it could be closed before if we reach our target objective of fundraising. So I advise you to stay tuned and to follow how the invested amount evolve from time to time, but don't miss the opportunity to register right now to benefit 5% additional bonus, because the pre-registration period will end just before the 22nd of June. Oppo A3s. When we launch an application on Playstore, it will be easier not to use. It's part of our technical development to create an application which allows you to use all the tokenization services by using your mobile. At this current stage, we have decided to focus on online websites which provide you all those tools. But the application will come just after, because providing just kind of level of tools is really, really hard to develop. And we want to focus and to finish completely the solution with the primary and secondary market after starting to make an application. But that's a good question, and it's already planned. Alejandro again. People will be able to trade any crypto token in the Tozex trading platform, or only the tokens of the environment of Tozex? It's a pretty good question. We will propose only major cryptocurrencies on the Tozex exchange, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and don't forget stablecoins, because they are part of the ecosystem. They are needed for investors, but also for entrepreneurs. But we are really focused on the ability to provide a certainty of the track record of every digital asset created on Tozex platform. So when you create an asset on Tozex platform, it will be proposed on the secondary market. So we want to offer a way to keep certainty, integrity, and traceability of all of exchange-related digital assets, to provide a certain track record related to all those digital assets. Thank you, Miguel. I appreciate your suggestion and your thanks. Thanks again for all of other people who have assisted to this presentation. This presentation will be also available on our YouTube channel for a few people who have missed this presentation, and I hope it will help you to understand the value of what we want to propose, and to understand that tokenization is the future of blockchain use cases for the benefit of entrepreneurs and investors. And we hope Tozex will help you to be the unique gateway to enter on this token-based economy era. Thank you for your attention, and feel free to contact me if you need. At the end of the presentation, you will have my contact, my direct contact, by Rémy.Ozcan.io, Tozex.io. Feel free to ask every question after that, and we thank you for your attention, and we hope to seeing you soon on Tozex.io. Thank you.